Thanks for your patience. Digile welcomes you all once again. We are now ready to start the webinar. I invite Shashidhar, Global Practice Head at Digile, to get the ball rolling. Shashi, over to you.
Thank you, Ankita. And again, welcome to all of you to our webinar on the future of the insurance services. We're excited to share with you what Digile and our partner Insuramo have been doing in this space. Let's move on. Okay, so a brief introduction to the agenda. We start with a brief introduction of Digile, Insuramo, and the people who are going to be bringing this webinar to you. We will also uncover the issues facing the industry, followed by our approach to solving this in a sustainable, repeatable, and agile manner. We will present a case study of a first notice of loss to settlement. Finally, we will present a demo of a straight-through processing of a policy issuance and the corresponding Insuramo setup, Insuramo platform setup, which will help you see how we bring this whole demo together. We will have some time for Q&A at the end, but please, during the session, keep adding questions under the Q&A tab, which you see on the tab, and somebody will be monitoring that and will be answering the questions as they come along. Okay, let's understand what our organization Digile is. Digile is a software services organization. We work across multiple technology platforms and we leverage AI for efficient and sustainable delivery. We are a 1,000+ employee organization with 9 offices worldwide, and we have successfully delivered over 200 projects. We are consulting partners with several large technology organizations. Salesforce and ServiceNow are one of the primary technology consulting partnerships we have, and we do a lot of projects in this space. Today, however, we will be sharing more about our partnership with Insuramo, which enables us to deliver superior implementation services to our insurance providers, brokers, and insurtech companies. Now, let's talk a little bit about who the Digile team here presenting this webinar is. I am Shashidhar Gurumurthy. I am the Global Practice Head for the digital channels at Digile. We also have Richa Agarwal, who is our Principal Solution Architect with deep functional and business expertise in BFSI and insurance space. Jayendra Koka, also known as Jay, is our go-to person in all things to do with insurance. Now let's talk about what is our joint value proposition, right? In the digital age, insurance businesses need, we believe, primarily 3 things. Fast and easy product configuration, which can be assembled by components, APIs and microservices enabling faster composition of new capabilities, and an ecosystem of applications supporting the entire customer base, right? Which includes the customers, lead management, agency onboarding, underwriting, and more. So we are able to do all of this with our partnership with Insuramo. Our partnership with Insuramo allows us to bring these capabilities to insurance businesses. Digile implements systems of engagements for insurers, partners, agencies, and customers on platforms such as Salesforce, ServiceNow, and even other completely open source platforms as well. And we use the APIs provided by Insuramo to do this in a more effective manner. They engage with customers to understand their business needs, business nuances, to build an experience that works best for them. Our deep implementation capabilities on the Insuramo platform makes us a partner of choice for building these insurance apps. To know more about Insuramo, I hand over to Rahul and Jishan. Rahul, take it away, please.
Thank you, Shashi. Good afternoon, first of all, the attendees out here. I look after the Insurmo Partnership Solution Strategy, and this particular slide exactly talks about our collaboration that we have done with Digile. And as Shashi said, so Insurmo provides a fast and effective platform solution where all these APIs can be provided effectively and quickly, so that Digile has been able to build the insurance experience layer on top of it. So consider this platform as a consumable insurance services. It's a PaaS platform, and more on this I will be speaking in the subsequent slides. But first, a quick introduction about us. Go on to the next slide, Richa. So I look after the partner solution strategy at Insurmo, and I've been with this organization for 5 years. And I work effectively with partners, varied partners, no code, low code partners, consulting services partners, and even package solutions companies such as ServiceNow, Salesforce. And since Insurmo is versatile enough, it can work with a lot of these tech enabled solutions to cater to wide variety of industry needs. It could be broker solutions, it could be banking insurance, banca insurance, popularly known as, it could be brokers, MGAs, and also with core insurance companies for their due diligence and adjudication, right? Uh, I'm assisted today by my colleague Zishan, who has about 10 plus years experience in insurance projects and delivery. He works closely with clients and partners to provide them the support and assistance needed to curate all these APIs and make them available. Go on to the next slide, please. Quickly about Insurmo. Um, Now, Insurmo, as I said, it's a platform company. It's a PaaS offering. It's a completely an API first stack, and it has around 17,500 ready insurance products available off the shelf, which can range from life, general PNC, all LOBs that you can imagine. And it's also very templatized. I'll be giving you a quick look at it when we do the system demonstration. But all the effectively the heavy loading, the heavy work that is done in the insurance industry, we have standardized in the form of APIs and products, and that is available within the platform. Then we have the APIs as well. Now, these APIs could range from all the processes. It could be new business quotation, policy binding, um, even reinsurance APIs across life, general and health. So we cater to all the APIs. So imagine if you get the product and the APIs, it is now easy for any partner company to come and build these solutions, uh, depending on the wide range of business needs that is there. Uh, then we have all these tech capabilities within the platform, which makes it very responsive and very agile. So Insurmo is a cloud-based platform. It's cloud agnostic. It can be hosted and deployed on any cloud servers. We are tied up with all the major cloud service providers globally: Azure, GCP, then Oracle. AWS, be it whatever, we have tied up with them, and we locally deploy wherever the client is so as to comply to the InfoSec norms. And because of the cloud first nature, the response time is sub 10 milliseconds. And because of the microservices principle, we have also been able to churn out policies, do heavy load of transactions. That is, you can see on the screen, about 100 million plus in a record time of within 1 day. So these are all customer backed data, and that's why Insurmo has been proven to deliver all this competitive edge when you compare with other competition players like Duck Creek, Guidewire, which are all monolithic apps. So it cuts away from the competition, cuts away the noise, and it's complete in microservices principal architecture, which is a game changing offering in this space. So that's a quick introduction about us and our company and how we work with Digile. Um, I'll now pass on the slides to Richa to carry forward the next speaking session.
Thank you, Rahul. Uh, Let me quickly anchor you all how this session will flow. When we talk about the future of insurance services across claims, servicing, and renewals, we today consistently see four stages. First, connect across channels, partners, and systems. Then, orchestrate, so workflows end to end, and it is not team to team. Third, we will talk about integration with core system of records without destabilizing them. And finally, optimize using data, intelligence, and AI to continuously improve outcomes. That is the lens we'll use through today's session. I'll spend the first part of the session setting this context and walking through a real claims journey. Then our team will take you through a live demo and then we'll close with a Q&A. Let's look at why this shift has become necessary. So, this is not a technology driven conversation, it's being driven by very practical pressures that insurers are facing today. First is customer experience. Customers expect continuity across channels. When these journeys break, especially during claims, delays quickly turn into churn. From the feedbacks we have seen, the second is cost and productivity. So, most insurers are still managing work through manual handoffs, rekeying, and non standard workflows. So, fragmented workflows create rework, hands off, and rising cost to serve. And lastly, risk and compliance. So, regulators in the insurance industries they expect end-to-end traceability. When evidence is scattered, audit effort and exposure increase. That is why we are seeing a shift toward one journey orchestration where the processes are standardized, automated, and I would say appropriately governed end to end. After understanding why one journey, the next question is why exactly now? So, what we are seeing across insurance is a clear shift from system centric thinking to platform centric models. Most insurers, if you see on the left, started with traditional operations, paper heavy, agent dependent, and slow cycle times. The first wave of change was on digitization, portals, basic online servicing, and early workflow automation. The next phase was digital scale. So we had mobile first experiences, analytics driven operations, and throughput improvements were there added into the phase. But today, the shift is happening at a different level. Insurance is moving toward a ecosystem enabled platforms where partners, brokers, marketplaces, and embedded insurance models all need to work together in real time. In this model, competitive advantage no longer comes from individual systems. It comes from the ability from those systems to orchestrate end to end. Importantly, this it is important to note that this does not mean replacing core systems. It means that we are allowing them to participate in a more connected operating model where exactly fragmentation looks like on the ground. So, on the left, you will see from a customer point of view, the journey looks very simple. So, they interact with the insurance companies through a website, a mobile app, a call center, or an agent, and they expect the continuity. But on the right, internally, the journey breaks very quickly for our teams. Each channel handoffs to different teams and tools like your CRM teams, finance team, compliance team, payments team, and during this, the data gets rekeyed. Same checks happen multiple times. Follow ups become manual. And that is where the impact shows up. Longer cycle times, higher cost to serve due to rework and exceptions, lower transparency, both for the customers and our internal teams, increased leakage errors and audit stress. What's important to note is this is not because the systems are weak. The problem lies in the gaps between the systems, how they're communicating with each other with no single workflow, owning it end to end. And once we have acknowledged the problem, the natural question is how do we fix it without creating any new risk? So, before designing the approach, we were aware that the reality in insurance is that not all services need to move at the same speed. Customer facing journeys like claims intake, servicing, renewals, partner integration, they need agility. But the core processing, like your policy, billing, financials, compliance, that needs stability and control. So, this is where we introduce the idea of two speed modernization. At the top, you have the fast speed layer. This is where the customer channels, journeys, workflows, APIs, and ecosystem integrations live. This is where the change happens safely and quickly. And at the bottom, you have the stable speed layer. Core systems of record continue to do what they do best: process transactions, financial integrity, regulatory obligations. The key is the orchestration between these two layers. This layer connects journey to core systems through APIs and events with governance, control, and visibility. So the change actually is happening around the core, not inside it. With that foundation in mind, let's now look at how all this comes together architecturally and where orchestration and AI sit in the overall picture. At the very top, you will notice that we are not starting with systems. We start with journeys across digital channels, agents, contact centers, and APIs. For a customer, a claim still begins the same way through a mobile app, a call, or an agent. No change in that. For an insurer, there is also an internal journey underwriting, approvals, payments, issuance. The key idea is that both customer facing and internal journeys both are treated as one continuous flow. This middle layer is where the core orchestration is taking place. This is the orchestration layer. This layer is responsible for managing the journey. Who does what, in what sequence, with what SLAs and controls. For example, in claims journey, this layer ensures FNOL intake, document collection, fraud checks, inspections, approvals happening in the right order, even though they might touch multiple systems. Similarly, another example could be for policy issuance, product rules, underwriting checks, payment confirmation, they are orchestrated as one flow and not disconnected steps. Underneath that, we have the API orchestration layer. This is where existing capabilities of InsureMO, product engines, claim systems, APIs, payment gateways, they all are connected. So the business logic does not sit in the core systems, it sits in the orchestration layer. This allows insurers to change journeys without stabilizing the system of record. Think of it like traffic control. So we are not rebuilding the roads, we are actually controlling the flow. AI here is also used very deliberately, not to replace the decisions but to assist and accelerate them. Example, summarizing FNOL inputs across channels or classifying documents and routing claims correctly. I will talk more about it in the next slide. At the bottom are your existing systems. So, policy admin, claims, payments, data. These remain the system of record. So, we are not replacing them, we are coordinating how all of this work together. So, when we talk about one journey, what we really mean is one orchestrated flow across different channels, teams, and systems, which is all governed, measured, and adaptable. We own the journey design, we manage the workflow orchestration, we embed governance and controls, we ensure that outcomes are measurable. That is what enables faster claims, smoother servicing, and control change without breaking the core. This is a very important slide. I would ask Rahul if he wants to add any input.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thank you, Richa, on those important salient features of the solution that you just outlaid. So, audience out here, I will want to just make it crystal clear. From this architecture diagram that you see, the purple, the blue boxes that you see, that is the insurance intelligence. That is where the heart and spirit of everything that we do in insurance lies. So we have the product engine, which effectively allows you to do the product modeling, right from researching. You want to research a product that you want to build for a specific market, for a specific LOB, you can do that in an AI assisted manner within the platform. Then you can get down to creating such a product, and all this can happen in matter of weeks. So if you're looking at a traditional product, this can take about say 1 week to 2 weeks, maybe less than that. I'm taking a buffer. I mean, there's always an iteration that happens. But if you look at a very complex product like a marine insurance or things like that, it can go up to 4 to 6 weeks, which are a fraction of the time which the or competition other players are doing, which are largely monolithic in nature. That's the differentiation of Insurmo. If you would want to wonder why this platform is here and how it is effectively improving the entire the business, the thing boils down to three things. One is which we call three V's. One is variant. By variant, we mean to say that we can help you, deliver wide range of products at a very short span of time. That is what we mean by variant. Second is volume. By volume, we mean to say that we can help churn out and effectively process large number of policies which can be issued or maybe transacted via claims, request, and then settlement, whatever. So these can happen in a big huge number of time. Just for example, we can give the example of IRCTC, which is a customer. They do around 1 million policies in a single day. So that's the beauty of this platform, which is, it's resting on the tested shoulders of cloud giants on the cloud servers. The third aspect is velocity. Velocity I mentioned, variant I mentioned, and the volume. So all these effectively is the three V's which helps you change the insurance business. And since we are offering it in a microservices format, it is very easy for partners like Digile to quickly use these services and build and engineer all these solutions in front, right, for the target business. And in the back end, it is decoupled. The system is decoupled from the back end. You can have any CRM, ERP, legacy app, data fabric layer where the policy records can be stored for later use. So effectively, what we are doing, taking the traffic analogy example, we are doing data abstraction and AI orchestration. So that is API orchestration. That is what we're doing using the inbuilt API gateway. More on this I will cover in a demo that I have planned at the end of the session. Now over to Richa.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you for that information. Uh, we talked about AI. Now, where does AI actually sit into all this, and how do we keep it controlled? So, there's a framework that we have built. We always start with AI Assist. Here, AI supports people. For example, summarizing an FNOL or case history before a handler picks it up, drafting a customer update email after a status change, answering policy or process questions for agents in real time. At this stage, AI is reducing cognitive load for our teams. The next layer is AI Automate, where we begin removing repetitive manual work. This is where AI starts triggering actions. So, in claims, this could mean extracting key entities from documents like your policy number, incident type, dates, automatically triggering a checklist when a document is missing, routing a case to the right queue based on rules. Notice what's important here. AI is not deciding our outcomes, it is deciding what needs to happen next. Moving on to the third block, this is where orchestration and AI truly come together. Agentic automation. Here, instead of hard coding steps, we define a goal. For example, move this claim from FNOL to settlement compliantly and quickly. The system can then post the training, coordinate tasks across various teams like claims, finance, risk, and partners, collect documents, run checks, update status, and also escalate to a human when thresholds or exceptions are hit. When done correctly, the outcomes are straightforward: lower handle times, fewer status calls, and obviously faster, more predictable cycle times. Everything that we have discussed sits under a strong governance layer. That means there would be human in the loop for high impact decisions, policy rules, and role based access, full audit trails for every AI action, data privacy and monitoring for any drift and accuracy. So far, we have talked about why one journey is needed, what the architecture looks like, and how orchestration and AI work together. Now, Jay will walk us through a real claim scenario. Over to Jayendra.
Hi, thank you, Richa. So, hi everyone. My name is Jayendra Sunil Koka. Everyone calls me Jay. So, as Richa and everyone was explaining it today in today's demo, that we got through, how one journey is helping us to go through from FNL to settlement with orchestration and AI. Emphasize on that. We came a long way from paper to in-hand platforms, and from days of, I mean, months of claimings to days by claims and orchestration from FNOL, starting FNOL to end settlement. Risha, can you please next slide? How the global insurance unification claims is facing these business challenges for fragmenting FNOL intake across channels by inconsistency of data, by it is getting delayed. And the second thing is by triggering and retaking, rekeying between systems and high expectations of rework and low status transparency in inbound and outbound and escalation of poor customer confidence affecting the CSAT stats and low and audit as we were seeing that as Richa spoke about AI integration for auditing. This audit evidence is scaled across systems to compute effectively by risk exposure. So now comes the part of solution. I will emphasize on how one journey can unify systems by creating a single consistent interaction layer across channels, users, eliminating fragmentation and enabling seamless orchestration to end-to-end business flows across front-end, middle, and back-end offices. Back-end offices. Each case has a workflow backbone, which is backed by SLAs and controls, which enables your unification of ensuring this journey are no longer handled in silos, but they are managed as a controlled flow and shared context, data, and rules between the systems so that we can monitor them and appropriately help that. And enabling orchestration between improving strategies of improving reduce manual interventions and accelerating outcomes, managing governance and control. This approach is directly tied to clearing measurable KPIs, including um, cycle time, cycle time reduction through automated handoffs and driven decisions, and higher STP rates by minimizing exposure of exposure and rework to lower cost to service via reducing manual efforts and operational oversight, and improving CSAT and NPs through faster resolution and more personalized interactions. This unified system journey will integrate the platform engaging single engagement layer to driven seamless end-to-end policy, claim and service journey. Proven business outcomes are impacts that we can see that 20 to 30% of your handoffs and 30 to 50% cycle time reduction, higher stats through processing, 20 to 40% lower in cost service and impacting CSATs and significant product gains of agents and adjusters. So by giving this an example to create an application or uh, proven to the past, let's say 5 years, after 5 years, after introduction of AI, it came to reduction up to 30 to 40% of handover time. That's what we are saying, that we reduce rework and hands off by standardizing the workflow. Now we are measuring outcomes, not by activities. This is the things that we have moving to seeing on. So, Richard, uh, that's all.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for the claims journey. Uh, so, what my team will do next is how this looks in practice. And as you watch the demo, I'd encourage you all to focus less on screens and more on how the journey stays connected throughout. Shashi?
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Richa. Let me just take over the presentation. Okay, so So this is the demonstration of an end customer coming onto a public website and asking, looking to buy a health insurance policy. And this is the product which has been configured. It's a simple product with a few parameters and properties has been configured on the InsureMO product. And InsureMO has given us the APIs which we need to use to issue the policies, right? So that's what we used to build this user experience. But before I go into the demo, let me just give you a high-level picture of what we are going to show over here, right? What the customer does. So the customer first selects a policy type and the type of insurance required. They add the insured demographic and health conditions, and clicks on Get Quote. This is when a call is made to the InsureMO APIs, which will create a proposal, calculate proposal, and save proposal. And that gives us it gives us back information about the premium, the adjustments, as well as the discounts which are there. That then is shown to the customer. Then the customer can decide to buy. And so that's when the issue policy happens on the InsureMO side. And then the customer is insured and they can view the policy. So this user experience can technically be built on any of the engagement layers. ServiceNow, Salesforce could be the engagement layers. In fact, the user interface can even be further abstracted up to run on a React-based system or an iOS app or an Android app as well. Yeah. So let's go to the demo. So the person clicks on, okay, purchase health insurance policy. They're presented with a screen which asks for which policy type and what's the sum assured. It's a little strange to give sum insured as radio buttons rather than a free text field, but just to keep it simple, we have done this for the demo purpose. So let's say I select a 1.5 lakh rupees sum insured, and then I say I want a family floater, and I want to insure one adult and one child on this policy. And then there is information, the person has to enter information about the proposer, which is the person who is buying the insurance. So let me just pre-fill some of the data, the first name, last name, and the date of birth. And maybe fill in some random PAN number. And then it asks me by some more information which is required to issue the policy. The previously held entered information is read-only, cannot modify it. I'm going to enter this data. And then it's going to ask me some lifestyle information, right? Let's say I consume alcohol occasionally. I do have a diabetes condition, let's say for the last few years. And but I'm not taking any medications. I control it via diet. Now, these are the things which will adjust the insurance policy. All of these calculations happen on the back end, on the policy side, on the InsureMO side, and none of this is being done on the engagement layer or the front end. And now I have to enter the information for the second person. Let's say, just select some person. And we'll just put in some date of birth. Female, child, let's say 120 centimeter, 36 kgs. And then the child, so there's no lifestyle conditions or existing diseases to be reported for this person. So we can hit next. And this is the place where the actual hitting of the backend APIs happen. And you see the proposal number, which has been generated by InsureMO, the name of the product as ASAN, which the InsureMO team is going to demonstrate to you. And then some of the information which the person entered, all of that has been shown here. Just to tell the customer that we have taken all the information you've given, added all of those information properly. And finally, the price breakdown. What is the base premium? What is the total loading amount? What's the discount which is given? And what's the total payable amount? This is the point where they will agree to do this, take this up, and then pay for it, and then they'll be issued a policy. In this case, since it's a demo, there's no payment involved here. We can just click next, and we actually hit the issue policy API, and we are issued a policy, right? Now let's look at what happens in the back end. I'm going to refresh. I see that there is one insurance policy which has just been created, a proposal number, the policy number, the same information which you saw earlier over there. What's the gross premium which has to be paid? And then there are the policy participants. All of that information is mentioned here. And it even generates a policy PDF document, which has some information about the company which is issuing the policy number and the payment amount, and all the coverages which are included as part of this particular policy. So this basically shows us what the front end UI and the engagement layer development would entail when we're working with Insuramo. Insuramo handles all the complex requirements for product configuration, making sure that the right attributes are selected, right risk factors are selected, and they provide the APIs to us, which we can then utilize to build applications such as this. Now, in this case, it was a straight through processing. There was no underwriting involved to keep it simple, but all of that underwriting and complex use cases are also possible. Now, to take you more into the details of how it's actually done in the backend, let me invite Jishan and Rahul to take this forward.
Thanks, Shashi. I'll just flip my screen and I'll give the audience out here a quick, flying tour of the platform. Just let me know if you are able to see the screen, see my screen. Yeah.
Yes, we can see it.
Fantastic. So this is how the portal home screen looks like. As I mentioned, this is a tenant styled platform. So on my right, you see these are all the my logins associated with different tenant. I'll just dive in straight to the product catalog. Although we have the other API services and non-insurance touch points, we also have the AI, layer which works very closely with the Insurmo APIs. I'll just briefly touch upon that, but let's, without wasting any time, get to the product section. This is how the product catalog looks like. As I mentioned, we have diverse range of products. We call it SKUs, and these are across general life and health. Now, just for variety's sake, I'll maybe pick a motor product, and then Zishan later on will walk you through a health product. So these are different ways of how you can browse through products. There's a country visualization, there's an ecosystem view, there's a line of business view, things like that. But you can actually zone out and go to the product that you're looking for. You have travel, hospitality, OTA, telecom, specialty products, products meant for small and medium enterprises to safeguard their risks. Then you have health products, traditional gig economy products, and then you have the bank, payment, fintech. So they all use wide variety of products just for insurance distribution. So I'll take you to a motor product, some literature to read, but you can just skip that and go in. So this is earlier in the day when I was mentioning variant. This is what I mean by variant. So there's a one base product, and out of that we have defined about 10 other associated products. This is what we mean by variant. So most of the hard work is already done. Most likely, if for a target requirement, there might be a 11th such variety required. You can easily create a 11th variety of from an existing closely matching product by just copying and taking the essential attributes from it and then making a new version out of it. Let's take an example of, say, bundle policy. So a quick snippet opens with the technical details, which is, we can skip it. We can click on explore the product, and right out here, the product definition opens up in an infographic tree style manner. It may be hard for your eyes. Just zoom in so that it's easily readable. I've zoomed in my screen. So the way to read this is that a bundled policy motor insurance product has these many attributes. And what are these? These are all legend color coded attributes. For example, there's a green attribute called vehicle. This stands for risks. So vehicle is a risk as part of the motor policy, and that motor policy, which is the vehicle risk, has further blue icons which are color coded in blue. These are coverages. So vehicle damage is some type of a coverage which an insurer will propose, or will they will endorse rather. Then we have the zero depth. Now, interesting key takeaway from here is that vehicle damage has certain UI fields, whereas zero depth has fields list as well as rules and rating. Now, the key takeaway here is that this is what makes the platform dynamic. With the rules and rating aspect, it becomes changing depending on the UI data that is fed into it. Whereas these fields will be actually parsed via an API when the Digile system will be invoking the API from us. So if vehicle damage has certain fields listed on the UI, it will be parsed via an API. It will hit the Insurmo. We will do some calculation and then we'll give it back. So these fields are important from the integration point of view. Whereas the rules and rating is dynamic, as I mentioned. And when I click on that, it gives you certain formulas which is embedded within the platform. So this is here is the formula. If I click on that, you will realize that there's a formula out here, vehicle market price into rate. Now this is where another key takeaway feature is that this formula can be changed depending on the business needs. So here it is 2.1%. For certain other insurance company, they might be providing 1.1% or whatever, but this can always be changed. And another key takeaway here is that this is using Blockly. So Insurmo, provides you flexibility to define and customize products using wide variety of ways. So we have also associated with Google Blockly for business users to quickly, configure the products as per their needs. So they can always go to console, and after going to console, they can, define their product. That's a quick introduction about the product catalog. And once you have tried out the product without natively integrating, you can try it out like a processor or an underwriter. What it will do, it will open up all the product data model right here on the screen. So you can test the rules and rating, you can enter all the fields, and you can run the rules. So this is good for the initial business analyst point of view testing, which Digile team had went through before they actually constructed this solution, the joint solution that you just saw. So they tested out the product before doing it. Then there's another feature called data model. This is where you can take the entire data model of the product, because some people are very traditional. They might not be familiar with the Insurmo platform. They can take the entire data model in an Excel sheet or maybe export it in a full JSON schema, and then look at the data model. So the JSON script that you see on the right, that is the entire data model of the product, of the motor insurance product. Now, this is in the real business scenario, this changes. So, for example, ICICI Lombard will have certain data model of motor insurance product, which can slightly change with what Liberty is doing in the market, right? So, which is why engineering and catering a product with Insurmo is fairly quicker, because 90% of the insurance motor product is always the same by and large. There's here a 5-10% difference, which you can change after taking a product and then making a copy on it. Excuse me. Now that was about the product catalog. Now I'll just quickly show you the AI feature. Within the AI feature, I'll take you to the home screen. This is the product catalog. We have an area called AI Agent Arena. What we have done, I need to change my tenant. So since it's a tenant-based platform, the AI aspect is available in another tenant. This is an AI bot that opens up. Now, just very quickly, uh, you may be a novice in insurance and you might not know anything, but you're given a task to create a product for a specific LOB, for specific geography. And what we have done is we have incorporated large language model, LLM, and AI technology to do a deep product research. This takes around 20-40 minutes. You can click on it. It gives you pre-configured prompts. You can do a market research. You can do an internal research. You can just click on it. It gives you the prompt ready. You can just replace the product name. You can say motor product. I will not do the entire thing, but I'll just give you a flavor by ICICI Lombard, something like this. And after doing that, you can click on research. It will take around good 20-40 minutes. At the end of it all, you will be getting uh, uh, an output like this. So it'll give you a very comprehensive motor product research from the market analysis, uh, and this will help you go ahead and then design your product later on. So this is a very interesting intellectual output that you get from the platform in a very short span of time, right? And once you have done this, you can go back to the screen and go to the agent arena again. Once you go to the agent arena, you can then get started with doing the modeling. So first phase is research, then is the modeling. In the modeling phase, you can start building the product. This is the actual area where you start building the product. So you can just upload that PDF into the Insurmo platform and it will make you the product in a very short span of time. We are talking days, not weeks here. So this is the AI effectiveness that we have brought in But apart from that, we have the other areas also. We have also a traditional approach, which I will request Zishan to show you. So what Zishan will be showing you is he will take the Arogya Sanjeevani health insurance product, which we enabled for Digile for this current use case that they shown, and he will be taking you through the rules and rating, which is completely embedded in the insurance product fabric. He will be showing you that. Over to you, Zishan, and I'll be
Yes,
happy to take questions later on, whatever questions is there. Yeah.
yes, thanks, Rahul. So the demo that Shashi was giving you regarding the product, so that was powered by our Insuramo APIs, and the behavior of those APIs are in turn controlled by the way you configure the product in this Expert Designer tool. So this is our Expert Designer tool that you are currently seeing in the screen. So here in the left hand side, you could see there are various components like product factory. So I will just name the important ones. The product factory, data dictionary, iTables, iRules. These are the important components with which we can use and make a flexible product and configure rules and ratings also here, and configure the data models that in turn will be consumed or used by the APIs to calculate the premiums. So I will start with the product factory. So product factory is the heart of this Expert Designer. This is the place where we define and configure the product. Okay. So there are various approaches to design a product. So I will show the quickest one. So the quickest one is the one where you can just copy the already existing product from our product library. So here, if I select the product library, so like Rahul showed, like there are various products that are already hundreds of products that are already available in our product library. So you could just search your product and you can just create on this action and it will copy that product with a new product code in your respective tenant. So this is the quickest way. Then there is a bottoms up approach where you want to create a product from scratch, right? So for example, the ASN or the Arogya Sanjeevani product that just Shachi was using for demo. So that was created from scratch. So in that product, what we did, we created different components, right? So a component is the smallest uh, unit that make up a product. So these are the different components that you could create. So once these components are created, right, based on the requirement of your product, then you could assemble this product components into the technical product. So if I show you the technical product, so this is the technical product. So all these components that you are seeing, the coverages, the risk, all those components are created in the component library. And once created, it can be reused across multiple LOBs or various products that you want. And from these technical product, we then inherit the market product. So this inheritance features makes this proposition very reusable. So if suppose there are same coverage that you want to use in different market products, then you could just drag and drop and inherit from the same technical product. So here, if you can see, there are many other additional coverages, but we are only consuming these coverages. And if I go to the, just a minute, and if I go to the technical product, and if I show you the inheritance, then you will understand that how many products are getting inherited by the same. So as you can see here, right? So there are so many products that are inheriting from the same technical product. So this helps us in reusability. Now, once the market product is set up, so the market product is the actual product that is available across the APIs. So this product code that you are seeing that I am inputting here, so this acts as an identifier. So this is the structure of the market product, right? With all the coverages and all. Now, once the product setup is done, then the next step is to set up the data dictionary. So data dictionary is a place where all the data models that we use to, all the attributes, all the fields that we'll be using to capture the details from the UI, right? So that needs to be configured here. So here there are two parts. One is the already available data dictionary. For example, so there are more than 235 predefined data models that are already available in our system. For example, policy customer, right? So this policy customer can be reused for various product irrespective of LOBs, right? For motor also we are having customer, for health also will be having customer. So this is there in the common
Yeah.
layer. Then
Yeah.
the second thing is there that at product level we also
So Zishan will have to be quick, just being cognizant of the time.
Okay,
So
okay.
audience, this helps in business continuity. So you can always come here, make changes in the tech product and roll it out. And the data dictionary helps you to build any new parameters. So the formula is always embeddable in the product, and from where the premium calculation, the business rules is embedded. For example, claim rules can actually influence the underwriter decision, claim adjudicator decision, which is embedded tightly in the product fabric. That is something which is what Zishan is showing.
Now, if you want to configure the rating logic, right? So for the rating logic, we have this configuration tables sample I have already downloaded. So here we have this condition and result based mapping where based on the condition, you could fetch the premium and using the rating logic that is there in our system, which you can be easily written using Groovy script, right? So just by writing simple Groovy script, you can
Yeah.
easily
Yes. So
look
this
up
is
that
one of
data.
the ways. This is one of the
This is
ways,
one of
but
the ways.
we can do it this in a wide variety of ways. Just as I showed you
Right,
the
right.
Blockly feature, the
Blockly
AI
feature, yes.
feature, various other ways. So I think with this we can wrap up and pass on to Richa
Sure,
for the
sure.
next aspect. Yeah. Thank you, Zishan.
Thank you.
Thank you, team. So, everyone, what you just saw now is how a fragmented journey can be brought together into a single governed flow. Now, every insurer on this call is at a different point in that journey. Some of you may already have strong core systems but fragmented workflows. Some may have APIs in place but limited orchestration, while some may still be trying to understand where the biggest friction actually sits in my organization. Which is why talking about solutions, the right starting point is clarity. And to help with that, we offer a 15-day journey assessment. Over those 15 days, our team will assess your current claims, servicing, and renewal journeys. We will identify any fragmentation points where the delay is happening. We will also evaluate any orchestration gaps, see if we can use AI to add value, and we will try to review your audit readiness. What you get at the end is very tangible. So, a journey heat map that shows where friction exists today, a modernization readiness scorecard across process integration data, AI, and governance layer. We will also shortlist top 3 to 5 high use cases, some quick wins for foundational work, and our target state reference architecture with clear next step options. For any follow up questions or conversations, feel free to reach out to us at talktous@digile.com. For more information, feel free to check our website. With that, I'll pause here and we are happy to take your questions.
Shashi, there are some questions. Would you like to take it up?
Yes, I'm actually just answering those questions. So I can just read out the same questions also again.
Yes.
Yeah. So the one other question which just came from Paramjeet was in this digital transformation journey, how is Digile going to help protect my technical debt of existing applications of core insurance, pass, and underwriting systems, right? And InsurMove essentially was created from this perspective, right? Because the core applications have been running for so long, they manage so much of data that ripping them apart and getting a brand new system is a very difficult and sometimes very risky exercise, right? So we don't engage in that. We don't have to do that. InsurMove provides a wrapper around that, and the systems of engagement then work with the wrappers which wrappers which are provided as APIs by InsurMO to work with the systems of the core systems. That makes the engagement layer changes, feature build extremely fast. You'll recall what Richa mentioned earlier. There are two speeds of development, right? One is the core systems, which always go slowly. You cannot make rapid changes there, but the systems of engagement now can move extremely rapidly thanks to the capabilities which InsurMove provides to us by wrapping the capabilities of core systems. Rahul, if you may want to add something more.
Yes, absolutely. So, Paramjeet, Insurmo is actually, complements with existing core insurance platform, policy admin systems, and underwriting. It is not seen as a threat, more like a complementing layer because it works on a two-speed model, which decouples the backend from the front end, and it uses it like an information highway. So it does all the data abstraction, AI orchestration very well. So this is the simplest way of how it can work. But we have also seen various models where the effectiveness of Insurma is such that there has been certain, the LOBs have been migrated to Insurmo, and then almost like Insurmo starts working like a core policy admin system. That has also been a case, but that is a second way of working with insurance companies. But the first and primary way is always to come in into the enterprise architecture, come in as a middleware, and do all these organizational aspects first, and then let the loosen the burden on existing core pass systems. That is the main idea of Insurmo.
Okay,
Does that answer your
awesome.
question, the question, Paramjeet? Do they have a way to respond, or?
I think just answering back on the same question, I guess.
Sure, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's
Now
another
this.
question from Mr. Tarun Upala. Shashi, if
Yeah.
you could take that.
Yes, I'm taking that. Just responded on the chat, but I'll elaborate that. So the question is, which platform do freshers typically start with? It's probably somebody who wants to do development on Salesforce, but let's bring it up a little bit, abstraction layer, a little bit, make it a little business oriented. So what do customers start on, right? Do they do Service Cloud, Flow, Omni Studio? Those are all technical products lying underneath. And with AI-assisted agent force commonly used, while Health Cloud is primarily adopted for health insurance use cases, right? Now, it again depends on what the customer has procured. While Salesforce Financial Services insurance product has got some overlap with what InsureMO provides, more from the data model standpoint. But the rich product library, the ability to configure the products faster using all the building blocks which you said, which you saw, which Rahul and Jishan demonstrated, that's not possible in the core Salesforce, right? We can't do it over there. Now, in terms of the technical stuff, like what you mentioned, whether you use Flow or Omni Studio, that depends on what level of the product they have procured. Okay. I think this question is a little out of syllabus. As a fresher interested in joining Digile, what
I
course or
can
skills or technologies? Yeah. So
I can take that. I'm currently so I can give, which is that question again? I'm
no,
trying
no,
to
no,
read it.
no, no. The
Paran?
top one is more about joining Digile, Rahul.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So
And then there's one more from Sridevi. Does Digile suggest on the applications used by customer who wants to use the solution for better experience, or it provides solution to the existing architecture issues or the experience? Example, insurer company having multiple CRM. Very good question. Rahul, you want to take that one from Sridevi? Do you see
uh,
that? I mean, if you type the
yes, yes. Does
okay.
Digile support suggest the application used by? Oh, okay, okay. So,
Essentially the systems of engagement, do we suggest
hmm.
or we use leverage what they have?
We can work both ways.
Yes.
If you have an existing UI which is already built, we can invoke certain parameters of like maybe a pop-up or a facade in an existing UI layer and continue the user journey. Or if you would want to build something from scratch, then Digile is always available to help, and we can push our APIs from the middleware. So we can work both ways. Yeah.
Yeah, Rahul, just to add on, I think this is a very good question. Primarily, the intent of Digile is not to have customers spend more money. That's the intent. We're trying to reuse the existing
Reuse.
application stack or the technical depth which are there in the customer place. There is no rip and replace policy what we want to do.
Hmm.
We want to coexist with the existing environment of your application stacks, your systems of engagement, what you have, systems of record, policy administration systems, core insurance applications, and just help you modernize your architecture rather than rip and replace.
Yeah.
Uh, Supriya, are we on time, or is there
Yeah,
any?
we have just time for one more question, and there's a question that says, I'm currently using Salesforce CRM and ServiceNow ITSM solutions in my organization. How will the current solution of Digile and Insuramo fit into my architecture framework?
That's something which I just answered earlier. Sorry, I didn't speak it up. Yeah. So we, like what Richa mentioned earlier, we are offering a 15-day assessment. Talk to us. We will assess and provide you a roadmap how to go forward on that. But do note that we don't, like Hitesh also mentioned earlier, we build this engagement layer on top of either Salesforce or ServiceNow while aligning with their existing architecture and design. And we don't do rip and replace.
Right. We are just on top of the hour. Thank
Thank
you
you.
everyone for joining.
Thank you for the questions, everyone. So, what we have shown today is what about clarity before action? For those interested within the group, the 15-day journey assessment would help you to identify where to act first. Our team will follow up, and we are happy to continue the discussion with each one of you. Thank you again for your time. Wishing you all a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you.